Hi guys! This week is a Draw This in Your Style challenge video. It's been quite a while since I've actually done this type of video, and recently I've seen so many people come out with so many good Draw This in Your Style challenges. I've had a really hard time choosing which ones I want to do. And there's also not enough hours in the day to do any of them. A lot of Draw This in Your Style challenges are actually done for big milestones or as little contests on Instagram. These Draw This in Your Style challenges usually have a time limit on them for a shout out period. However, the ones that I have done in the past for you guys to do, I've never really specified any kind of time period because I like that open-endedness. This first one is by Lord_Gris. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I probably am not saying that correctly, but this one is of her picture, Lily, and this event was actually completely over when I found it, and I was like, oh, but it's really, really pretty. But I ultimately decided to do it anyway, because to me, the shout out portion of it didn't really matter. Now I chose this mainly because these are the colours that I don't usually work with all that much. Not only that, but it was just so soft and beautiful, and it also had the fun little quirky little toad frog. It was so cute. And I don't usually draw that kind of thing or with this colour palette, so I thought, why not give myself a challenge? Step out my comfort zone a bit. It was still in my comfort zone, obviously with drawing the female character, but it gave me some room to take some lessons from it. I think sketching out the Draw This in Your Style challenges are actually the most intriguing part of it because it is the basis of what your final piece is going to be. It's also very easy to slip into the mindset of, wait, I'm kind of making it look very similar or eerily similar. What can I do to change it? How can I put my mark on this picture to make it my style? Also, I felt a bit rusty because I haven't really been sketching all that much during February because I've had a lot going on. I've only recently caught up with myself from January and actually started getting back into a weekly schedule. After I did the sketches in my sketchbook, I transferred them onto watercolour paper. Now I did try and film that part, however the footage looks awful because I'm doing my line art over a light pad. So for the sake of your time as well as me editing this video, I took the decision to cut it out. What I was actually surprised by is this picture was relatively the exact size I needed it to be because I wanted to do 2 A5 pieces because A5 pieces are pretty quick for me to produce in comparison to A4, and since I wanted to do multiple pieces for this video, I knew A5 would serve me well. Normally when I do sketches in my sketchbook, I sketch them too small, or a little bit of the sketch ends up getting a bit chopped off, or I have to move something around a little bit. This one was not like that. I wish all sketches turned out like this. This particular Draw This in Your Style challenge was definitely up my alley because it was not only challenging, but it also had the detail that I really love drawing. Part of the way through the painting, I actually felt like it needed some pink in it. Now, a signature kind of thing that I have with my style is I like to add like pink little blushies. I like to have that accent colour. So in this case, I kind of wanted it to complement the blues and the greens. So I decided on a slightly warm toned magenta. The paints that I'm using here are my White Nights paints. I did debate on using my Daniel Smith watercolours just to get more used to them. However, I just wanted to use my White Nights and it felt like ages since I've used them. I feel like the watercolour process for both of these pieces in this video just went by so quickly that I almost wanted to slow it down a bit. For some reason, I don't know how this happened, but maybe taking a break from doing artwork has improved me somehow? I don't even know. All I know is I've been playing The Sims more than doing artwork the last few weeks. And that's just in my spare time. Just throughout the entire process of doing this video of both pieces, I felt like my artwork had improved and I had no idea how that had happened because obviously between January and now, I have been really busy with other commitments, as well as taking breaks from doing artwork to inevitably play The Sims. I've been a little obsessed with that lately. So if the people watching my Instagram stories are annoyed by that, I apologise. But creating my character universe in The Sims is definitely something that I want to do. Also, Sims YouTubers have taken over my life and my recommended feed. It's pretty much all I watch or listen to while I'm doing other things. Does that mean there'll be another Sims art related video in the future? Most likely. When that will be though, I do not know. Also, will that be traditional art or digital art? Because I honestly have been kind of arguing with myself about what the channel should be. I know that I'm known a lot for my traditional art and my watercolour and my love of it. However though, one of my goals this year was actually to try and improve my digital art. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback of what you want to see on the channel. Do you want to see more traditional art as I've been doing lately, or would you like to also see digital art, or don't you mind and would like a mix of content? I'd really like to know. Also, for those who are curious about my Sims endeavours, I will sometimes be streaming that over on my Twitch channel. I also stream a lot of making videos, also my comic process as well. So if that is something that you would like to follow and see, I will leave the link to my Twitch down below in the description. So the next Draw This in Your Style challenge is by Gloomybug. When I saw this come up on my feed, I was just like, yes, I need to do this because the character is so cute and I saw so much potential with going completely ham on the lighting, making all these glowing effects and doing washes with watercolour. Oh, I was just so looking forward to doing this one. Even though I was looking forward to it, I was also a bit intimidated by the colour scheme because high contrast is very much my thing, but at the same time it's also very intimidating because if you mess it up, it's hard to go back. I believe Gloomybug's piece is called Amelia's Tea Time. I think that's what it's called, don't quote me on that. Now the process for the sketch for Amelia's Tea Time was completely different to Lily, and the reason for that is because I had drawn the original drawing a little bit too big in my sketchbook, and you can probably see it now here in the sketching process. This one just needed to be resized a little bit as well as defined just a little bit more, so I did that digitally off camera. I also decided to refine it more digitally because it had overlapping elements that were just getting lost in the sketching process in the sketchbook. The painting process for this one was also very different because obviously this one had a background. It was supposed to have a very high contrast, as I was saying before. So because of how this one was going to be laid out, I had to start with the lighting. I have to have an idea of where the lighting is in terms of direction and also where it's bouncing off of. So that's what I mapped out first. Now I'm not sure whether you saw it in the line work, but I actually messed up quite badly near the feet because I had coloured in the heel thinking, oh, I'm just going to do it black because in the original piece the heels were black. But I got the placement of my coloured in black lines completely off, and by the shoe there's just this huge black blob because I messed it up. I was hoping that the background colour would actually mask it, and it does a pretty decent job at doing that. And that's only because it was a really dark colour and I was actually intending for it to be really dark under the skirt anyway, so luckily I got away with it. But that was one big oopsie on my part. The brush that I ended up using for both these paintings was the Raphael 3/0 brush. It is really hard to tell what that brush is anymore because of how well loved it is. So you would have seen it towards the end of the last painting, and you'll also see it towards the end of this painting as well, but I used my clean colour Zig pen in the colour blue. I can't remember whether it's Persian blue, I think it might have been. I was originally just going to leave the paintings as they were, but I thought they needed a little bit of extra dimension in the shadows, especially around the face, and I just needed to incorporate the colour blue a lot more. I'm always scared to put blue in the shadows, but this was kind of the test to see how it would look, and I really enjoy the result. Now obviously, this one has the exact same effect to it, but since the main colour was blue, it makes more sense for the shadows to be blue. Whereas in the picture Lily, it didn't really make as much sense, but I just wanted to give it a go. Experiment. I think it really added a sense of depth to each piece, and it's definitely something that I want to follow forward. It's also reminding me of techniques I used to use when I used my Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints. The thing with those paints is the fact that they're actually quite difficult to layer up a lot of, so I was taking a lot of time to layer those up. Because of that, I developed my shadows and my lighting a whole lot better back in 2017 than I do now. So I am looking back at old artwork to see what succeeded and trying to bring that forward into today. Because over time, when we improve, we definitely leave some elements of our old style behind to focus mainly on the things that are most likely in your eyes the most wrong or the most in need of improvement. I think that's a better way to word it. I felt like between these two pieces, I learned a lot and I feel like I have improved. What do you guys think? With that being said, this video is currently wrapping up. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe if you haven't already with those post notifications on for notifications for every time I upload a new video. I'm definitely trying to get back on a weekly schedule for every weekend. At the moment, I do want to make it every Saturday, but this video definitely took a little bit longer than I was anticipating, and because of some life stuff, it ended up being on Sunday instead. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and like the final results, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!